There are a lot of different ways you can sketch out your project. I'm going to start with a simple sketch using markers. You don't have to overcomplicate this. A simple sketch will do, and I'm just going to try to sketch out a cat of some form. As you can see, I'm not that thorough because that's not needed, but if you want, you can do that, of course. Just play around with the sketch and see where it leads you. I'm going to outline the sketch now because that will smoothen the project a bit when you're starting your crocheting. Now it's a good idea to start creating some notes around your sketch. Try to figure out what kind of shapes you're going to crochet and make some notes about this. That will come in handy later when you're starting your crochet project. For example, you can mark out if you spot any triangles or circular shapes. And you can also make notes of what kind of stitches you're going to use during your project. This is a good way to start visualizing the project before you start crocheting. I usually crochet the outline with half double crochets and double crochets, but that depends entirely on the project. I'm always trying to figure out what kind of stitches I'm going to use, but since this is a freeform crochet project, you're always allowed to change your mind whenever you want. Just play around with it and it'll go fine. Another way to sketch out a freeform crochet project is to play with the yarn you're going to use. This way you can see how the colors will work together and you can start to visualize how the project's going to look like once it's finished. Here I'm going to create a so-called scrumble, and that's something we're going to do later in the course. And I'm just wrapping some yarn to see if the colors will fit together and also to determine the ratio between the colors. Something like this. And I'm just adding on to the sketch to see how it will look. Now let's add some black to the mix. Maybe I want to play around with some petals or of some sort like this. Just play intuitively with the yarn to see where it leads you. If you want, you can make a sketch out of the yarn sketch as well. You can play around with the colors and just do whatever you want. If you want to add something else to the sketch, feel free to do so. You're the one in charge here, so you get to decide exactly what you want to sketch out. Here I'm making a contour with the black and the blue and red details as well. And maybe smoothen the project a bit. I don't know if this is how it's going to look once it's finished, but this is an idea. You can do whatever you want. And some smoothing around the edges with the blue, green and red. And now it's your turn to start sketching your first crochet project. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next lesson.